Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of The Sea Will Claim Everything. Last time we left off, we were at the marketplace, and I remember talking to a fair few merchants. We talked about two, and then I stopped on this screen. I think I examined these things. Chameleon mushroom designed as a potato. Do you hear about the vicar and the potato? No good, it would ruin your appetite. Yeah. Potatoes, peel them, slice them, put them in a casserole. That's different. Yeah, not put them in a stew. Add olive oil, 2 cloves of minced garlic, rosemary, oregano, thyme, salt, pepper, bake for 45 minutes. Delicious, just saying. That sounds amazing, yes. Gourds. They would have to be specially prepared before they could be used by a shaman, though. Locally grown watermelons. They're not as good as those from the Isle of the Sun, but Anaria wanted to try. Pumpkin has no personality. It used to be a manager. It's Mwahaha, the evil pumpkin. These watermelons belong to Mwahaha. Some people can do almost anything if they have a very small aubergine. Thee and Naim often buy fresh lavender from Anaria. This parsley is barely palatable. Dandelions have a surprisingly wide range of culinary uses. Cabbage! Parsnip. There's not much to say about parsnips. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really think about parsnips until I played like Stardew Valley and was like, oh yeah, this is a thing. Same for like bok choy. Green cucumbers of the type common in the Fortunate Isles. There are many other varieties, including one that resembles a bee and lives in cucumber hives. Mild peppers. Aromatic laurel leaves. They add a lot of flavor to food, but should not themselves be eaten. Garlic from the Isle of the Sun. Yummy. Love garlic. Ligonian carrots, grown here on the island since Ligonia is no more. Amazingly delicious apples were grown by Anaria herself. Juicy pears from Mursk. According to Uckbert Appeldorn, bananas are the first step towards philosophy. Pineapples from Tlun. A blue plant that smells like broccoli. The color doesn't make up for the smell. Herbivorous creatures like to use the many-colored new strangler in their salads. Dried purple mushrooms, really good if you put them in an omelet. Avocados. At the moment they are hard enough to kill someone with, but in a few days they will unexpectedly turn to mush in under 3 seconds. Not all avocados work. Don't know much about them. Maya Govanen, traveler. Smell of the day is vitamins. Anaria. I'm Anaria, daughter of Isilia and Orinor. I sell fruits and vegetables here on the market, and I'm also an excellent guitar player. Sick. Cordara? My family has lived here as long as anyone can remember, though many of them spent many years traveling the seas. The sea holds a special meaning to my people, you know, one that goes back to the oldest days of our memory. I've heard that this is the same with humans because they were born of the sea. Markets. Things have been getting worse all the time, and it's quite worrying. While the selection you see here is certainly excellent, there was a time when I had so much more, but food prices on the mainland have become prohibitively high. So high that I haven't been able to get Ooklandish ookberries or Tyrian thyme in months. I don't understand why this is going on. Surely it has not become more expensive to grow them. Food. Vegetables and fruits are healthy and should be part of everyone's diet. However, it is my firm opinion that most people know very little about how to select and prepare vegetables correctly. That's true. And as a result, many children are forced to experience unspeakable horrors at the dinner table. Extremely true. I was one of those kids. How many children are condemned to a life of hating vegetables simply because a misguided parent insists on making them eat broccoli or even cabbage? Even an aubergine can be ruined by an unknowable cook. Yeah, I mean, I've had broccoli, and broccoli's like one of the ones I like the most, but most of my vegetables are eaten in like soups and stews and stuff, or when they're like mixed in something like rice. I don't often just like eat broccoli by itself or salads. Like, I've had salads and they're fine, but I don't really like a lot of sauce or dressing on foods because I consider it messy. Like, and I just hate the feeling of like getting messy. Usually if I'm using a sauce, I'm like dipping something in it. Or it's like soy sauce on rice or something. So, salads are just a hard pass for me because my brain wants to just eat just the salad with no dressing, which is a hard sell because then you're just eating that with like no kind of seasoning or anything on it, really. I've tried putting like cheese on it before, and that helps too, and like some things, but yeah, it's a hard sell for me, salads. But mixed into stuff, very good, like chilies, stews, soups. Some casseroles, rice, that kind of stuff. It's quite yummy. Vegetarian. I have recently discovered that certain individuals who apparently hold my people in high esteem are utterly convinced that we keep to the peculiar dogma of the plant eaters. This is of course quite ludicrous. While we do enjoy our fruits and vegetables, a balanced diet must also include the meat of land animals and fish, and thus we partake in all of these. In fact, some of our greatest heroes were skilled hunters. I mean, you don't need the meat of land animals and fish. There's always like tofu and beans and nuts and stuff to supplement what you need from other things, because quite frankly, I could pretty easily go vegetarian. I still probably wouldn't eat very many vegetables, but like mushrooms, beans, and stuff, I could probably live off of. And just like rice. Token. The token? Yes, I have one. It was given to me by my mother, who said it was very valuable. Though not in its materials, I see you need it for a quest you believe to be meaningful, but I cannot simply hand it over. Only because my mother would kill me if she found out. Might I propose an exchange? The token for a wild subnana fruit. Can't afford to buy them from the mainland anymore. Oh my god, the subnana, that's what we need from the like little monkey things. But if you could find me a wild one, I could plant the tree in my cellar. The cultivated variety has been magically altered not to have seeds, you see, so that people can't grow them on their own. So wild subnana is very valuable, enough that my mother won't complain too much about the token. So wait, is that one that we have in Underhome wild or not? I don't know, actually. Admittedly. Okay, so I have a lot of quests for tokens. Mouse, Oh, hi. Rodentia is the smell of the day. Lou. I'm Lou. Lou McScurry. Lou of the McScurry family. That's me. I run the inn and the inn. Inn and the inn. The inn and the inn is the small inn for mice, rats, other rodents, very small humans, sometimes ants. We eat, drink, laugh. Sometimes people stay very long. A whole hour. I'm the innkeeper. I stay here all the time, except at night. I like cheese. Wow, you just have all of your thoughts coming out, huh? Mouse. I'm a mouse. We're very fast. Have to be. Oh, should I read you in my auctioneer voice? Not auctioneer, but very fast voice. I'm a mouse. We're very fast. Have to be. Actually, I'm quite relaxed for a mouse. You should see my cousin Kevin, always running and nibbling. No time for a nice pint. My other cousin Brian got eaten by an eagle. Never comes by anymore. Nice town. Very nice. My family helped found it, I think. Many generations ago. Always lived here. Life is hard now. Not much cheese. Token? Yes, given to me by my great-great-great-grandfather. Last month. Very nice. You want to have it? Find treasure? I'll exchange it. Barter system. Bring me cheese. Special cheese. Port Dara flaming cheddar. Used to be traditional. No one makes it now. If you get it, I will make a feast. I will feast for all the mice in Port Dara to lift our spirits. A good cause? Yes. Cool. Sorry. Did everyone get all of that? Still don't have my meds, by the way, in case you're wondering. Still don't have them. Cheese. Port Dara flaming cheddar. Someone must still know how to make it. You don't fit in there. A Werebee candle. Werebee. Bottle of vintage Miravore. These plants really do grow everywhere. A two-headed flower. Oi's Inn, the finest place to eat, drink, and rest in Port Dara. Okay, what's over here first before we go into the inn? Because that's a whole separate area. These two mushrooms are old-fashioned conservatives, which means they sound like radical progressives to most modern conservative mushrooms. Yeah, they'd call these mushrooms woke leftists. This mushroom has been downsized. This is actually a muffin. This mushroom is part of a proud lineage of mushrooms dating back to the founding of Port Dara. One day this mushroom will learn to sing like an angel, a fungal angel, but an angel nonetheless. Two stealth mushrooms. Jocular mushroom? A small family of mushrooms working hard to make it in the world. Okay. Mushroom is a bit of a show-off. Strange species of mushroom that has no description. Two married homosexual mushrooms. Yes, it's legal in Port Dara. Lord Urizen, however, claims that it is unnatural and is working to change that. Well, fuck you too, Urizen. You little shit. If I needed any more reason to dethrone Urizen. The water from the well is very cold and refreshing. Hey there, how are you? Smell the day's shoes. Patrick. Name's Patrick. Patrick, a leprechaun. Yeah, I'm from America. I came here because I just couldn't stand the stereotypes anymore. Here I'm just another citizen, but back home everyone was always making such a big point of my heritage, of being a leprechaun. I always had to wear green clothing and a fake beard and talk with an accent. It was terrible. You can only have an identity when no one cares about your identity. Port Dara? I love it here, even though it's not, you know, worked out really well for me, but it's beautiful. As a child, I always heard about Port Dara from my uncle. And he visited us, but until I actually set foot in the Isle of the Moon, I hadn't really been able to imagine what it would be like. Hungry? Man, this is embarrassing, but could you... I'm... the innkeeper. Oi. Okay, relax, Patrick. Relax. Thing is, I'm really hungry. I haven't had anything to eat in a while. I don't have any money. I used to work in the mayor's office, but the new mayor fired me because state employees drain the economy. I could barely live from the money I made then, but now... yeah. So, maybe you could ask Oi, the innkeeper, if he could give me some leftovers? Sure. Real estate? You know, it's weird. I was looking for a place to live, just something small so I'm not always in the way, but... turns out all the empty houses are owned by the mayor and a bunch of his friends. Yup. And they're doing some sort of, I don't know, thing with shares and derivatives and stuff I don't get. Nobody can afford to live anywhere. What's with that? Yeah, they're just shuffling money around and giving each other loans, and they're all in a ton of debt, but it's not like technical real debt because they can get around it some way because they're all just trading debt back and forth by buying out each other's companies and buying out each other's properties. And yeah, sorry. Going on a long tangent. Okay. Old god called to Tatis lives here, barely surviving from the few royalties he gets for his appearance in comics. Interesting. That has to be a reference to something that I don't get. Hello. Smells like there was a pretty strong cocktail in there. No wonder Phidias is always smiling. Greetings. I'm not doing a snake voice. Greetings, stranger. How may I be of assistance? Spell of the day is healing herbs. Dr. Phidias. I am Dr. Phidias, traveling physician from the Isle of the Sun. I travel so that I may learn the wisdom of others. There could be no healing without knowledge. Jellification potion. Jellification potion? Yes, I know how to make them. They can be most useful in preparing certain ingredients. Here, I'll copy the recipe for you. Good luck. Healing Underhome. Underhome has been assaulted. Wow, this is the character I've been needing for a lot of stuff. Oh my god. The Jellification potion, the healing Underhome, and the arterial cleaning device. The outrage. I was hoping to visit the mysterious druid to speak of biotechnology. What is the world coming to? I'll do my best to help you heal the damage. I will give you my recipe for the soup of recovery. Cook this in Underhome's kitchen and let it absorb the fumes. The ingredients will be hard to find, but the cause is worthy. Arterial cleaning device? Arterial cleaning device? Sadly, I do not know how to make such a thing. Perhaps you should inquire on the Isle of the Stars. Patrick. There's no shame in asking for help. If only more people understood this. Yep. So much of what we do is about helping others. I became a doctor to help others heal. I became an innkeeper to help others, to make others feel at home. The recipe scroll has been updated. Bottle of spiced Bravari, perpendicular polk, absinthe with a hit of green moat. Should only be ingested in minute quantities. Oak flavored int draught. A draft. A big bottle of glandular slime. Small bottle of splurg. Permanently perverted potato protein. Medical smelling whiskey. Distilled goulash. A minty sort of drinky. Aliantha juice. Wine from southern Pagana. Locally produced cherry juice. Cups from the Cirque du Soleil. These glasses were a gift from Oi's friend Basil, an innkeeper in Oddness Standing. Bob the Spider's in 2 of these glasses. Empty beer keg. The keg is completely empty. Oi keeps some of his more exotic drinks in here. Pile of magazines for guests to read. As is usually the case, most of them are unspeakably dull. The Innkeeper's Book of Autobiographical Insight by Emmy Wagner. Dog Puncher's Cocktail Guide by Dog Puncher. That seems like a rude name. Fawn by Terry Fawn. Whiskey by Janet Jackson. Glasses. I think that's everything, yeah? Welcome to Oi's Inn. Relax, have a drink. When I was younger, I was afraid that my malformed arm would mean I couldn't be an innkeeper. As it turns out, I can do quite the job quite well. Very proud of what the inn means to Port Dara, even though the crisis means that fewer people now come here. Family has run this inn for many generations. It's a place of rest and relaxation for many a weary traveler. Also the place where the townspeople come to talk, drink, and celebrate. Share the building with Lou's Inn in the inn. Drinks. Oh, we have a very solid selection. Nothing like what you get in Onaropolis, of course, but probably the best you'll find in the Fortunate Isles. Barley wine, Miravor, butterbeer, many different kinds of whiskey. Probably have a bottle of Welleran's Finest somewhere, and the discerning customer may be interested in our Serenarian Stout. Foods. We got all the traditional meals, though what I'd really recommend is our baked eel monster with crunchy potatoes and garlic. Crunchy potatoes and garlic. Don't know about the eel monster. you're more partial to salads like myself, I recommend the grass salad with small insects. My mother's recipe, and I promise it tastes equally good every time it comes back up. Ugh. Traveler from Kuantali told me that his aunt has blue ears. Told him that wasn't a terribly good rumor, and he said I wasn't the first person to say so, but it was all he had. Patrick, those are just come in and talk to me. Those with all this shyness, it's completely unnecessary. These are hard times and people should help each other. Here, give him this and tell him to stop being silly. Thank you. Token. Token, you say? Yes, I do have such a thing here somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. But look, if you'd do me a favor, I'll take some time to try and find it. That old man drinking so much, I'm almost entirely run out of my good beer, which I get from the brewery in the Glen. Seem to be capable of carrying quite a lot in that window of yours, so if you could go get me some, I'd appreciate it. Tell the brewer I sent you. Flaming cheddar? Flaming cheddar? Sorry, I have no idea how to make that. Heard of it, but I don't think I've ever eaten any or seen any for that matter. I think it has something to do with one of the ingredients suddenly becoming hard to find. I don't remember what it was. I got a meal for Patrick. Nice. Okay, oh god, there's more here. Solitary salt shaker. These flowers got so hungry they ate the other flower's description. The menu. The potato dishes are particularly good. Stacked menus. It sounds like it has some sort of special meaning, doesn't it? But it's just menus there on top of each other in a horizontal position. Ontological spoons. These knives are quite knifey. Ancient temple near Billion Toad City. Reproduction of Brian Bless's famous photo of a desert yeti. Old picture of the lighthouse outside town. Famous ruin that Oya once visited. A great king was crowned here, but few remember his name. Picture of a famous three-headed rider who once stayed in Oya's inn for several weeks to work on a trilogy of books. Picture of Thee's great-uncle Claudius in the ruins of Bombasharna. He was good friends with Oya's father. Also, I got an achievement for this game that said I've gotten all 700 collectibles. Which I don't believe I did. So either the achievement was given to me at the wrong time for clicking on every single thing in the game, or it's like a joke or something. Some sort of hinge here on the Isle of the Moon. Photo from the dangerous land of Tetris, where blocks of stone continuously fall from the sky. One of the stranger places in the world. I want to go there. I love Tetris. Empty bottle. A werebear earwax candle. I see. Yeah, these don't have a description because these stole their, yeah. Salt and pepper shakers. The salt is the pepper shaker and pepper's in the salt shaker. Devious. This is an X-cocktail. Bottle of Bound Brevari. So you're the old man that's been drinking all the stuff. Very expensive wine from Mournhold. Very sweet wine that smells of Timsa Kombai flowers. Whatever it is, it contains a lot of alcohol. Strongest coffee you've ever smelled. Talktron enabled. Booze with a hint of seawater. What? Went on. All gone. Ship, the horse, the cloak, the sword. No more riding the waves. No more great adventures. No more guiding. No more... Just this now. Replaced me with a hydrofoil, they did, really. Rendered me to Tartarus, but I escaped. Didn't do me much good. Magmel Caverns? Oh, not what it used to be. It used to be... I can't hiccup. It used to be great. It used to be like something out of a storm and finding a place of perfect calm, like the secret places underwater where the octopuses hold their councils, like that. Now it's poor, but very competitive. Very proud of being very competitive. Work for food, make toys for tourists. Little action figures of old heroes wanted me too. Used to be no hunger. Booze with a hint of seawater. Lime. My great-granddaughter, she was here, I remember. She said something, I remember. She said I forgot. No, wait, she went to the Isle of Sun. Wish I could have given her my old Kuruk. Maybe I need more ale. Okay. Well, we got a few things to follow up on there. Quite a few things, actually. One of the big ones would be going to the Glen and being like, hey, beer for Oi. There's beer again already. I won't complain. Here, put these in your window. Only my finest for Oi. Token? I do have such a token. I know a little of its history, too. All the families that rose against the Timber Tyrant have one. Ensure the tyrant remains entombed forever. I might be willing to part with it, but it's more precious than the people of Port Dara know. Tell you what, since you're a traveler, perhaps you can find something for me. Some time ago, an old friend of mine, Ninkasi, promised to send me the recipe for her secret beer. It never arrived, and she privately refuses to send it again. If you locate it for me, I'll give you the token. Timber Tyrant. He was the king of the Isles a long time ago. A great general and a terrible man. He conquered and slaughtered and oppressed like few before him. Until our ancestors rose up against him. They say his tomb is in the petrified forest. Yeah. I got beer for Oi! Alright, back to Dara. Here you go. Rumors? Hierapolis University Press has published the 11th edition of its Guide to the River Yann. That's because my old friend Basil sent me a copy. Not sure why. Beer? Thank you, you're a savior. Here's your token. Lying under a bottle of mimetic mocha. Really know what it's good for. The token, I mean, not the mocha. Father gave it to me when I was a boy, saying it was a family heirloom. Cassie's beer recipe. Cassie, isn't that Torkin's old... I see. I don't think her package ever arrived from Port Dara. Maybe the ship's anchor was robbed by pirates. I got Oi's token! Nice. So, let's give you your food. Full meal? Oh, wow, I didn't, and he says... I didn't expect so much kindness. Sorry, I don't want to embarrass you getting all emotional here. Just that no one's really done this kind of thing for me before. I always thought the world was, you know, dog eat dog and all that. It doesn't have to be, despite the lie that some people, you know, that are high up in society tell you. Thank you. Both of you. You and Oi. Oh, would you like to have this? It's an ancient token of some kind. I found it hidden in one of my uncle's old shoes. Thank you. Patrick's token. Alright, so... I have a bunch of tokens. Alright, so now what? That's the question. There was nothing else to ask you. We could go heal some of, Ooh. Oh, I needed these things probably for those recipes. Carrot and leek? Gladly trade you as many carrots and leeks as you want in exchange for your help. Run out of fertilizer, and the type of fertilizer I normally use is no longer available. Don't want to use the unhealthy stuff that Lord Urizen's people recommend, so I need someone to get more of the good kind. It's called bat guano. It can be found in caves. Yeah, let's go get some guano. Hot peppers. Peppers? No, I'm sorry. I only have regular peppers. Hot peppers aren't very popular in Port Dara. Shame. It has something to do with, that time I accidentally sold those volatile piquant peppers as mild peppers and gave everyone incendiary bowel syndrome. Yeah, that's rough. Guitar is a tremendous instrument. To my ears, and my ears are really good, there is no sound more lyrical than that of the guitar. No other instrument can evoke our memories of places long ago, guide us into tranquility, or fill us with hope. Equally, the guitar can express the sorrow and longing of all those bound by the circles of the world. Even the simple melody of the Beleriand blues speaks a truth that no works of philosophy can truly capture. Thank you for that. There wasn't anything else to ask you? No. I'm just trying to check the characters to make sure they don't get any new things. Sometimes they do. Flaming cheddar! Flaming cheddar? A slice of scram and some fine ale. Scrumptious. Yes, I don't know how it's made. Not all traditions are good or worth keeping, as we dwarves know all too well. It does sadden me when such things are forgotten. Salmon of Wisdom? Salmon of Wisdom, how unfortunate. I have so many types of fish, but sadly none of that. You'd come just a few years ago, I would have provided a magnificent specimen, but when Mayor Penglong took over, he brokered a deal with a fishery on the mainland. They sent their boats here and caught so much salmon that we never saw any again. Okay, and I can't get into there. And then here was you, Ninkasi's beer recipe? Can't say I've heard anything. Your ships have been lost over the years, especially before Jack took over the lighthouse, that is. Maybe he can help you? Timber Tyrant? Dumachum? Okay. So, the lighthouse. Then, do you have anything new? Ooh, yes you do. Town hall door. Door only opens if you push it a bit to the left while you're opening it. It'd be easy to fix, but for some reason the mayor won't let me. Don't understand why he doesn't believe I can do it. I don't have anything like that, I don't think so. Maybe you should ask my father. Torkin? Mayor Penglong's scared of him, but I don't understand why. Dad's not scary, is he? Patrick? I don't know Patrick very well, but he told me a funny joke. Goes like, two ghosts, two banshees walk into a bar, and the barman says, it's something about karaoke, but the way he said it was so funny. I'm sorry, I'm not good at telling jokes, but I'm glad Patrick is feeling better. Petrified Forest, the place makes my fur stand on end. Be very careful if you go there, or better just don't go. Okay, so I gotta click on the left. Ah, now we're in. Is the mayor dead? Private property. Safe key! I have a safe key. I guess that's not the right one. Find a safe and open it. I mean, yeah, I can't use it on that. Jackals of Evil by Terry Goodkind. Virtue of Selfishness, a new concept of egoism by Ayn Rand. There we go. That's what I said. I knew there was going to be some shitty Ayn Rand somewhere. Fuck off, Ayn Rand. You earned this. 100 Ways to Find Pride in Your Accomplishments by Lolita von Reichenhausen Archbeiser. Super butchered that. Peng Long's prize for winning the Borrington Elite Golf Championship. Photo of Peng Long playing golf. Even the photo is tedious. How to Impersonate Others for Fun and Profit by Filthy Jones. Genocide Takes Commitments by Angelus Merkel. 10 New Approaches to Creating Profitable Inequity by Lucas Papademos. Yeah, you're a shit person. We already knew this, but... How to Eat Everything and Make Others Pay the Bill. A Guide to Metaphorical Eating by Theodoros Pangalos. Peng Long's Beloved Golf Ball. It's private property. Plan Portdera Golf Club, of course. Mayor Peng Long's Diploma of Advanced Post-Historical Economic Management Consultancy from the University of Plasiotingen. Please keep your hands off these private medical supplies. Substances stored in there are completely harmless, really? Shiny Distraction. Careful, each of these golf clubs costs as much as you'll earn in a year. Stamp that has the authority to control people's lives. Papers authorizing the firing of public sector workers, cuts in pensions, and a major bailout for Peng Long Golfing Incorporated, of course. Feathers from the rare Grey Pegasus were a personal gift to Mayor Peng Long from Lord Urizen. My time is limited, Mayor Peng Long. Think of myself as a patriot, not in the nationalist sense of course, but as someone who has the best interests of Port Darrow in mind. Dara. Hard choices have to be made, and it will take courage to bring Port Darrow into the future. Confident that our actions will lead through the current dry spell to a brighter future. We'll work hard and overcome our troubles. I'm confident. For all legal purposes, these statements are to be taken as being of an inspirational nature. Economic results may vary. Smell the day, red tape. Isle the Moon. We are the Tiger of the Fortunate Isles, charging forward and never stopping like a shark, inspired by freedom and hard work to reach for greater heights. We're inspired by our friends on the mainland and ready to cut all excess fat. Not let red tape and the leeches of society allow the tiger to stop charging forward like a shark. Growth matters, and Port Darrow embodies growth. Poverty? Problem was not poverty, but an overabundance of wealth which has strangled the fire within that is our desire to competitively rise to the top of the challenging but necessary mountain of business. Standing instead in the lush valleys below and never wondering why our flocks are dying. What we need is to make sure the burden of the shepherd is lightened so that he may better lead, and the burden of the sheep is increased so he's motivated to reach the top of the mountain. Yeah, you're talking about trickle-down economics. You're saying, oh, I should be making more money because then I can lead better, and then, yeah, the people can work harder so that they have a motivation. Fuck off. Hate you. Underhome? You suggesting that as organized and efficient an organization as the Bank of Yawn will initiate foreclosure proceedings by accident? They possess thousands of foreclosures per day. It is extremely irrational to suggest that they would not be highly proficient at this. Perhaps your friend has merely misunderstood something. Recently, a one-time tax on some types of property was instituted according to Mayoral Decision 55B, the processing of which was handled by the aforementioned bank. Should this be the case, once the foreclosure is complete, you can submit 2 forms, one to me and one to a representative of the bank, stating that an error may have occurred. The bank agrees. The issue will be investigated within the next 48 months. Yeah, sounds like submitting an appeal on YouTube. Hunger. Hunger becomes a significant problem, which is extremely doubtful in our rapidly growing economy. We can be certain that a market-based solution will soon materialize. Oh my god, I hate this character and everything about them. They did a good job of making you very hateable. Not necessary to look to the state to provide for those too lazy to provide for themselves, particularly when the economy is so weak. We just can't afford it. What about you? It looks like you just sit around and play golf all day, you stupid jackass. Okay, I'm sorry. This character's just going to annoy me. You know, I'm glad you're already a skull. You seem to be in some state of undeath, though. I wish you would just die permanently. Alright, now that I've gotten all that rage out a little bit, I think we should probably just end off there. So, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more.